Hello and welcome to GOA365's News Bulletin. I am Susan Gomes and these are the headlines. Legislators voice concern and problems related to the tourism industry in their constituencies. Many questions in the department's plan of action to bring in tourists, given the dwindling number. Torrential rains wreak havoc on the recently tarred roads throughout Ponda Taluka, raises questions on the effectiveness of work done using taxpayers' money. Economic survey forecasts India's GDP growth rate at 6.5 to 7% for 2025 financial year. Attributes growth towards private sector finances, rural area demands and more exports. And now for the news in detail. Goa's legislators today voiced concerns and problems related to the tourism industry in their constituencies. With mining shut, the state is, according to some legislators, heavily reliant on tourism. And worryingly, despite its importance, tourism in the state is not seeing any improvement. Let's take a look at what some of the MLAs had to say on this issue.
Honorable Speaker, आमचे मायनिंग बंद केलें तेन्ना 2012 by the BJP government आमचे कितें जालें? We had to fall back on tourism. Tourism was already declared an industry and tourism industry is the only golden goose today आमकां. Tourism industry मेले जाल्यार, tourism industry गेले जाल्यार आमचे सगळें काबार जातलें हिंगा. Outside Goa destination आहात ते सवाय ऑफर करतात. Outside India, in the Far East, they are offering cheaper destinations, very welcoming way of inviting guests. And आमगे competition मागे फकत नाक आसलो ते लोक येतात आमगे. And what type of quality tourists we had, they are decreasing and we are not having anything. So I think that the government of Goa, the international tour केलो ते. I say that these international tours which have been done are total waste of money. And why I say total waste of money? Kon gelte turak, I asked the Honorable Minister to kindly justify how, in this answer which was given to us, LAQ 3B, which was on start question, 17/7/2024, I have no problem when an Honorable Minister goes for any international tour. No problem now. But when your OSD is taking a tour, OSD hotenna, and bill aate 1 crore 4 lakhs, without minister, kon minister barabar gel zalyar, I think this needs to be inquired.
Speaker sir, under the Swadesh Darshan scheme, the Donapal jetty was renovated. I was under the impression that once it was renovated, it would be used for the locals. But unfortunately, there's a gate that has been erected there, and now the locals cannot use the jetty. The same jetty used to be open throughout for decades. Now it is closed at 8 p.m. So Speaker sir, the locals cannot use it. They are stopped at the gate. They used to go there fishing or even just go for a leisurely walk. It is not only the locals of Donapal, but like almost everyone from Goa used to visit there. And now I understand the importance of tourism and making Goa a preferred destination and trying out various things to bring Goa on the map as one of the places that people should come to, but I don't think it should be done at the cost of the locals. Now the locals there do not want these events to happen there, so I would like the minister to just clear this and tell me exactly what is in his mind.
Speaker sir, जेन्ना आमी टुरिजम म्हणटा सगळे जाण कॉन्सन्ट्रेट करता बीच टुरिजम, हिंटलँड टुरिजम आमी विसरता, आमी हेरिटेज टुरिजम विसरता, म्हणजे फाटी धरता. मेडिकल टुरिजमाचे व्हडलो प्रभाव जालो 2012 ते 17 की आमी मेडिकल टुरिजम गोंयांत हाडटले, इतले बरे फॅसिलिटीज दितले, अशी ऑपरेशनां करतले, तशें करतले, हें आमी पळोवंक ना. वी हॅव नॉट सीन द लायट ऑफ द डे. स्पीकर सर, त्या टायमार चीफ मिनिस्टर म्हणटालो आपूण आमचो मनोहर पर्रीकर, आय विल इम्प्रूव द क्रूज टुरिजम इन द स्टेट ऑफ गोवा, म्हणजे क्रूज टुरिजम भरपूर वाडटले म्हणून. आयज मिनिस्टर आमचो 2-2.5 वर्सां जाली ट्युरिजम मिनिस्टरा रोहन खंवटे तेणे आमकां सांगपाचें आहा वॉट आर द प्लॅन्स ऑफ द स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट एंड द सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंट टू इम्प्रूव द क्रूज ट्युरिस्ट हू आर कमिंग. आमचे एक्सपोजिशन ऑफ द रेलिक्स सिक्रेट रिलिक्स ऑफ सेंट फ्रांसीस झेवियर हे प्रमोट करपाक आमचो मिनिस्टर खंय वचपाचो आहा. तर 4 म्हयने उरल्या. 10 वर्सांनी हे येता एक्सपोजिशन येता. मिनिस्टरान खंय एक्सपोजिशन वीच कंट्री म्हणजे युरोपाक मेन आहा ते आतां पोर्चुगलाचे लोक, स्पेनाचे लोक, फ्रांसाचे लोक आनी बाकीचे युरोपियन म्हणजे इंग्लीश लोक मोठ्या प्रमाणात येवंक शकता. जर तर आमकां फॉरेन ट्युरिस्ट जाय जाल्यार मोठ्या प्रमाणात स्पीकर सर आमच्या गोंयान एक्सपोजिशनाक लोक येवंक शकता.
आमची वागातोर अंजुना आणि कायसुआ this is a coastal being a coastal belt. Let me come talk about the lease agreement signed by the tourism department with of the various properties. Speaker sir, ye lease agreement अंजुना property चे आणि वागातोर property चे. These properties were bought, taken by tourism department specifically with the subject of beautification of Anjuna beach and beautification of Vagator beach म्हणून. आणि निमणे ब्युटिफिकेशनाचे एक कांयच दिसना आणि सगळे लीज अग्रीमेंट करून ते शर्मांक आणि सगळे भायलांक दिले. आय वॉन्ट टू नो स्पेसिफिकली फ्रॉम द ट्युरिजम मिनिस्टर इन हीज रिप्लाय एक पूण जागो आमच्या अंजुना नाजाल्यार वागातोर उरला काय म्हणून आमच्या फ्युचर जनरेशनाक लागून आय वॉन्ट टू नो फ्रॉम द ट्युरिजम मिनिस्टर एक पूण जागो ब्युटिफिकेशनाक लागून उरला काय आमच्या जनरेशन नेक्स्ट नाल्यार तुज्या जनरेशन नेक्स्ट वेन वी टेक maybe grandchildren on the beach to show them that baba आम्ही आमदार असताना वो ट्युरिजम मिनिस्टरान केल्लो.
वास्को सगळ्यात पयलीं पोर्ट एरिया वास्कोन, रेल्वे स्टेशन वास्को, एअरपोर्ट वास्को, पूण वास्को जाय तसो आमी डेव्हलप करूंक शकले ना. आज खंयचोय सपोज एक फॉरेन ट्युरिस्ट उदकांतसून हातूंतसून येता, दर्यांतसून येता जाल्यार तो पयलो आमच्या मुरगांव तालुक्यान येतालो आनी थंयच्यान तो सगळें पळयतालो. पूण इतलें आसून पसून आमी तें डेव्हलप करूंक शकले ना.
विन्सन रोजारियो, सुभाषिश गोवेकर and Bhaktipai Balgi for GOA 365.
Torrential rains have wreaked havoc on the recently tarred roads throughout Ponda Taluka, raising serious concerns among local residents about the effectiveness of taxpayers' investments. Roads that received fresh tar just weeks ago have already begun to crumble under the relentless downpours of the monsoon season.
The rapid deterioration of roads have not only rendered the recent roadworks futile but also heightened safety risks for motorcyclists who now navigate hazardous stretches strewn with exposed gravel. The situation has sparked criticism towards authorities for scheduling construction during a period ill-suited for proper road construction, leading to visible damage such as compromised sections along the Durbat-Kavdam road near Donkham.
दुर्बाट गाफरो रोड तुमकां खबर आसतलें 1 म्हयनो जालो हांगा रोड हो हॉटमिक्स केल्लो आनी तो पावस पडल्या बरोबर तो हॉटमिक्स खंयचे कडेन गायबूच जालो. हेजी सगळी रस्त्याची खडीवर चल्लेली आहा आनी म्हाका एक अशें दिसता की ह्या हॉटमिक्सान डांबर ना. तुमी पळयता ही खडयेन कांयच डांबर ना. कशें तरेन हॉटमिक्स घातल्या तो तांकां कॉन्ट्रॅक्टराक खबर आनी जो कोण प्लांट कोण मिक्सिंग केला हॉटमिक्स ताका खबर आसतली. लोकांच्या म्हणणे प्रमाणे हे प्लांटवाल्यान हितून एक म्हणल्यार डांबर घालूंकूच ना. आतां तुमकां खबर आसतलें एक रस्त्याचो कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट सुद्दां कॉन्ट्रॅक्टारान घेतलो जाल्यार मिनिस्टराक पयलीं तांचें कमिशन दिवचें पडटा. त्या शिवाय ही कामां कशीच जायना आनी कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर म्हाका दिसता खंय तरी पयशे ताका कमी पडटा रस्तो करपाक. म्हणून आमच्या आयज गोंयच्या रस्त्याची ही हालत जाल्ली आसा. आयज लोक येता वयता, लोक गाडी स्लीप जावन आतां लोक पडटाय बी. आनी दुसरी गजाल हे खडी तोपान लोकांले टायरूय बी पंक्चर जाता आनी लोकांले टायरूय फुट्टा. अशे तरेन आयज ही व्हडाची परिस्थिती जाल्ली आसा. हांव म्हाका एसेंब्ली आतां चालू आसा तेन्ना हे रस्त्याचो इशू कोणी तरी काडचो हो हॉटमिक्स कसो केलो आनी दुसरो जो प्लांट हॉटमिक्साचो जो मिक्सिंग करून जो हाडलेलो तेजेर इन्क्वायरी करची जर तेजी कितें मिस्टेक आसा जाल्यार तेजे प्लांटवाल्याचें लायसन कॅन्सल करचें. आमी पळय आतां हांगसरल्यान आमी तळावलेच्या रोडान वयता हे आतां 2 खांब्या कडेन हो आतां पयर आमी पयलीं पळयताले जाणटेपणां कितें जाणटे आमची मनशां शेण बी काडटाले 8 दीस तरी उरताले पूण हे हो दामोर घातले तेणी आतां हॉटमिक्स गाडी सुद्दां घेवन भायर सरपाक आमकां लॉस दिसता आनी म्हणल्यार आमचे कडेन जायना गाडयां म्हयन्याक आमगे तो मेकानीक आहा तेकाच विचारल्यार कळटलें म्हयन्या आमी गाडयेचें काम करून घेता कितें चल्लां म्हणून कळना हेजी इन्क्वायरी जावं जाय तें कामां
पब्लिकाचो पयसो न्ही
हो पब्लिकाचोच पळय आनी कोणाचो पयसो तो हो पयसो आमचोच आतां मडकय तो आतां 22 तेगेली फेब्रुवारी केन्ना ती येयना आनी आमगेली सीएम तेन्ना सांगतालो नोव्हेंबर म्हणल्यार एकूय खड्डे दिसपाना म्हणल्यार खड्डे कसले ते कॅश नाशिल्ले खड्डे दिसना काय हे हांकां तांकां वीग घातले दिसता आनी हे रस्त्यार कितें करपाचें येल्ले गेल्ले कडेन चलपाक आज हें ना हांगा फोण्या पण हे दिसान पयला की रोड घातलो पण रोड घालून ऑलमोस्ट 2-3 म्हयन्यापासून रोड वचपा लागला हे शेतकऱ्यांमुळे खूब स्लीप जावपाचे चान्सीस आसा लोकांक पडपाचे चान्सीस आसा कित्याक गाडी सामकी भिवता मातशें हेचेर भितीच्या बीन कितें तरी एक्शन घेवची एटलिस्ट नाल्यार रोड क्लीन तरी करचो क्षेत्र पडल्या त्यो ताकी स्थानिकांक त्रास जावचे न्ही.
रस्त्याक कितें जालें
रस्ते कितें बाद जाला 1.5 म्हयने जालो ना रस्त्या
1.5 म्हयने जावना
जावपूच ना 1.5 म्हयन्याच्यान कितें लास्ट हें घातलेलो
सगळी खडी गेली
खडी गेली खड्यांनी काडटा वडयता परत वडयता परत मागीर 2 म्हयन्यान परत करता आनी काम
परत काम
करपाचें परत खावपाचें म्हणटा आनी पयलीं.
Krishna Naik, Manish Parab and Sanika Nagvekar for GOA365.
We shall take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. India's GDP is expected to grow by 6.5 to 7% in the financial year 2025. This growth is because of better private sector finances, more demand from rural areas and more exports, says the Economic Survey 2023-2024. But conflicts between countries might hurt this growth.
The Economic Survey says that India's GDP growth for 2025 will be 6.5 to 7%, which is less than the 8.2% growth in 2024. Chief Economic Advisor V. Ananta Nageshwaran says that the Indian economy is still strong, but we need to work hard to keep it that way. The survey warns that conflicts between countries could cause problems like breaking supply chains, higher prices for goods, and changes in inflation and money policies. It also says that India needs to handle higher interest rates in developed countries and compete with their industry policies to keep investors interested.
There is momentum in the economy. In fact, we are now 1 quarter in the new financial year, and even high frequency indicators are telling us that the economy is carrying on the momentum that we have seen until the end of March 2024, when we grew at 8.2%. So the average growth rate in the last 3 years up to March 24 has been around 8%. And as we write in the survey, real GDP is 20% above the pre-pandemic levels. And the growth has been contributed to by a steady maintenance of the share of private consumption. Capital formation is beginning to recover as we would expect post-COVID and post-balance sheet repair. And exports are doing quite well under the circumstances as well. And investment is being driven by not only by public sector capital formation. Both union and state governments have clearly been spearheading the capital formation. But let me also tell you that private capex has been growing. Private capex has recovered after the stagnation or decline we saw in 1920 and 2021. They did pick up in 21-22 and 22-23.
Employment trends show that sudden shocks, not long-term problems, have affected job creation. The survey asks the private sector to help more in creating jobs and spending money on projects because more jobs are created in the private sector.
Inflationary pressures under control in the previous 3 years. The deviation of inflation from the target of 4% is the lowest in India, and the headline inflation rate is coming well within the band and should come to below 5% in the current financial year. And of course, you all know that the core inflation is running well below 4%. Monetary policy transmission is evident, and monetary policy stance may not necessarily be considered restrictive given the fact that credit growth is running in double digits as well. And both a slew of administrative measures and monetary policy combined to make sure that inflation never got out of hand. And compared to many other nations, the fact that we had a very small deviation from our target was facilitated by the proactive both fiscal and non-fiscal administrative measures and monetary policy measures taken. Ultimately, all these macroeconomic statistics have to result in the most important variable that the public is looking for, our Indian formal sector creating enough jobs. If you look at it, based on the returns filed by Indian factories, about 2 lakh of them, in the annual survey of industries, factories which are more than 100 workers, they constitute roughly about 21% of the total number of 2 lakh factories. But they constitute 80% of the workforce. Therefore, it is heartening to see that the workforce growth rate in these factories, which have more than 100 workers, is 13.2% in the last 4 years, compared to the growth rate of only 4.8% in relatively smaller factories. So on top of a larger base of workers in the aggregate, factories with more than 100 workers are actually seeing their workforce rise faster as well. And that is a very good sign of formalization of the Indian manufacturing sector. And this is from the ASI data, which is available until 21-22.
The government spending on projects has been a key driver of growth. The chief economic advisor urges the private sector to keep up this momentum with the government. He stresses the need for working together to meet India's high growth goals and become a developed nation by 2047.
This survey picks up on the theme that all hands on the table must be there, and no economic approach will be exclusionary or will be excluded. We need manufacturing, we need services, we need agriculture, we need the public and private sectors to act together. We need union and state governments to act together. Because given the way the global conditions are evolving, we don't have the luxury of picking and choosing specific approaches in our path towards Viksit Bharat. And that is the overall theme of the survey itself.
Srishti Athanikar and Omkar Deshprabhu for GOA365.
Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant announced plans to implement the National Education Policy in government schools within the next 2 years. During Monday's legislative session, Sawant stated that necessary resources for NEP implementation would be developed during this period. Meanwhile, Congress's Carlos Ferreira voiced concerns requesting clarification on whether the implementation would align with the intended NEP guidelines.
Policymakers is crucial. Engaging stakeholders in dialogue to address the concerns and build confidence. Speaker sir, I am given a reply that the State Institute of Education and Training was upgraded to State Council of Education Research and Training and SCERT in 2006. The reply also states that various committees were constituted, consultation meetings with all the stakeholders were held, teacher training programs were conducted, and additional teachers are given to the schools. I have a reply which states that secondary stage teachers will be given training from 15 July to 30th July 2024 and foundational stage teacher will be trained in August 2024. My specific question, what is the exact nature of training given to the teachers and whether the duration of the training is enough for the teachers to understand an academic subject like national education policy?
पयल्यान पयली हेजो टास्क फोर्स जो आसा पळय न्ही 2020 जेन्ना डिक्लेअर जाली तेन्नाच आमी टास्क फोर्स काडलो आनी टास्क फोर्साच्या अंडर बींग अ एड्युकेशनिस्ट बाब सुभाष शिरोडकर ताचे स्वताचे बाय प्रोफेशन टीचर आनी बींग अ एड्युकेशनिस्ट ताका अपॉयंट केलो आनी ताच्या अंडर ती कमिटी फॉर्म जाली. ताज्या उपरांत आमी ट्रेनींग एंड ओरिएंटेशन जे आहा पळय न्ही मास्टर ट्रेनर 94 मास्टर ट्रेनर डिसायड केले आनी तेंच्यांनी पुराय राज्यांत तांकां ट्रेनिंग दिवपाक सुरवात केली. इन्क्लुडींग 5 डेजचो 5 दिसाचो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम आसल्यो, इन्क्लुडींग द 3000 अंगणवाडी टिचर्स, म्हणजे आमचे प्रायमरीचे टिचरांक केलेत, बट 3000 अंगणवाडीच्या टिचरांकूय आमी ट्रेनिंग दिल्यो आनी जेणे करून तांकां एक्झॅक्टली फावंडेशन कोर्स म्हटल्यार कितें हो तांकां सगळ्यांक कळचो म्हणून हेतूंतल्यान आमी फायनलायज केलें. आमी ताजेर वर्कशॉप घेतले वीच इज अ टॉय बेज पॅडगॉजी, म्हणजे पपेट्स जे तयार करता पळय न्ही तेजो तांकां वर्कशॉप सुद्दां तांकां अटेंड करपा खातीर घेतले.
सगळे फॉर्म केले, कमिटी फॉर्म केले, सगळे बरें आहा. इम्प्लिमेंटेशन कसं जाता हें गरजेचें. स्पीकर सर जो मास्टर ट्रेनर म्हणून हातून गेलो आनी फाटीचे एक साऊथ गोवा सालसेटाक एक मास्टर ट्रेनिंग एक कॅम्प केले, एकलांक ट्रेनिंगूय दिलें. यू हॅव टू आस्क द फीडबॅक फ्रॉम द टिचर्स. मास्टर ट्रेनर जे तुमकां ट्रेनिंग दिताय, आर द टिचर्स हॅपी विथ दॅट मास्टर ट्रेनिंग? तुमी एक टिचर थिंगाची काटाय मास्टर ट्रेनर म्हणून कोताय 6 म्हयन्या भितर 3 म्हयन्या भितर, हाऊ ही कॅन बी अ मास्टर ट्रेनर एंड टीच द टीचर्स? इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. यू आस्क द टीचर्स हू हॅव गॉन फॉर द ट्रेनिंग. तू सांगता इम्प्लिमेंटेशन केला, कमिटी केला, सगळें बरें आहा, बट वाय अ हरी?
मास्टर ट्रेनर जर तयार करतले जाल्यार टिचरांतले कोणाक तरी काडून ताका ट्रेनिंग दिवन आमकां मास्टर ट्रेनर करचे पडटा. द लँग्वेज हियर द म्हणजे लँग्वेज 1 इज द इंग्लीश, लँग्वेज 2 इज एन मराठी, कोंकणी, हिंदी, ह्यो 3 लँग्वेज, आनी लँग्वेज 3 इट इज एन फ्रांच, पोर्तुगीज एंड जर्मन. ह्यो 3 लँग्वेजी आमी खंयसरूच ज्यो आहा पळय न्ही मदीं म्हाज्या कडेन फायल आयल्या उपरांत हांवें सांगलां इट शूड बी द कंटिन्यू, खंयसरूच त्यो आमी बंद करूंक ना, कंटिन्यू केल्या.
सो तिनी पॅटर्नाक भुरग्यांक एक टी ब्रेक जायो आनी एक लंच ब्रेक जायो. ओके, सो हे स्कलांक जे आतां तुमी इम्प्लिमेंट कोताय, आमगे त्या भुरग्यांक थिंग सादें टॉयलेट आनी आमगे वचकलांक वचपाक वॉशरूमूय नाय. हे तुमी आनी जाता इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर जाता तांकां जेवण जेवपाक यू हॅव अ मेस रूम, कितें कॅफेटेरिया कितें तें हूंय बसून भुरगीं तुमी आतां हिना हरी इम्प्लिमेंट कोताय. बट अकॉर्डिंग टू दीस पॉलिसीज वी हॅव टू हॅव अ सेपरेट डायनींग हॉल, तांकां बसपाक सुवात आसपा जाय. आहा आमकां इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर आहा.
सिलेबसांनी खंयसरूच घोळ घालूंक ना. इट इज इन लायन विथ द गव्हर्मेंट ऑफ इंडिया. इम्प्लिमेंटेशन जे आसा पळय न्ही NEP हांगाच करता. खंयसरूच आमकां गडबड ना, आमकां घाई ना. ती A to Z इन द फ्युचर ऑफ द स्टुडंट्स कशा पद्दतीन ताजें उज्वल भविश्य जावचें हाज्या खातीर आमचें सरकार काम करता. आमी खंयसरूच कसलीच गडबड करूं ना आनी प्रत्येक करस्पॉन्डन्स रिगार्डींग द सिलेबस हे गव्हर्मेंट ऑफ इंडिया कडेन करता, तांच्यांनी येयल्लें इम्प्लिमेंटेशनूय करता म्हणून सांगलां हांवें. आनी प्रत्येक फावटी वयल्यान दे आर गिवींग द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ द गोवा स्टेट टू द अदर स्टेट्स. ओके, विद्या समीक्षा केंद्र म्हणजे गुजरातान NEP येवच्या पयलीं इम्प्लिमेंट केल्लें. नाव द आफ्टर द NEP विद्या समीक्षा केंद्र इम्प्लिमेंट करपी गोंय हें एकूच राज्य आसा तेंच्यांनी विद्या समीक्षा केंद्र जे आहा पळय न्ही तें इम्प्लिमेंट केलें.
Speaker sir, my question is on the change structure at the higher education level. envisaged under NEP. आता हिंगा Speaker sir, affiliated college मुझे हाँ, गोवा यूनिवर्सिटी affiliation है कान उड़ता है सारखे. Now the colleges would be constituent college मुकोदे. And when you do the constituent college, the practical and legal implication of shifting into a constituent college.
Vincent Rosario, Manish Parab and Omkar Deshprabhu for Goa 365.
We shall slip into a short break. Stay with us. And finally, for the weather update, this week's forecast offers some hope that there will be respite from the incessant rain that started almost 2 weeks ago. For the first half of this week, there will be rain and strong winds, but in the second half, the forecast points to clear weather and lighter, more scattered spells of rain.
As for Tuesday, we are expecting a bit more sun time. This would be the first time in weeks that we'll be seeing the sun, which will surely be a welcome sight to all. As a result, temperatures will rise a little. We're expecting most areas to register a high of about 30 and a low of 25. Now, despite the sunnier weather, don't let your guard down. More storms are still incoming and chances of heavy showers are very high on Tuesday. Make sure to keep an umbrella close at hand and drive slowly. Orange alert issued till Wednesday. Heavy showers with strong winds forecast until 24th. Yellow warning on Thursday, Friday. Maximum and minimum temperatures on Tuesday 30 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius respectively. Boat owners to avoid heading out to sea till 24th. Bureau Report, Goa 365 with inputs from IMD.
With that, we have come to the end of this news bulletin. For more news and updates, log on to our website www.goa365.tv. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube, Goa365. Take care, stay safe, and keep watching Goa365.